This is episode 3 of Bringing the Heat with Dr. Paul's Hot Sauce. I'm speaking with Paul from Dr. Paul's Hot Sauce. How are you?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
I'm doing well, doing very well.
Excellent.
You, I guess, what would you call it, class it as a local Perth, Western Australia identity with your hot sauce? You've seen it every chili festival and every market you can pretty much get your hands on.
That's me.
Tell us, how did you get started with hot sauce? What's the story behind it?
Like most sauce makers, just growing my own chilies and playing around with stuff at home. I used to pickle lots of chilies. I used to always dry them out, and then after a while I got into making different sauces and discovered the endless possibilities of hot sauce.
Is it one of those moments where you started handing out your sauce and people said to you, you should sell this?
Yeah. I was buying little jars from Red Dot and making the sauce. I've actually was making the same sauces that I'm making now all the way back then. Selling them to family and friends, giving them away as gifts and stuff like that. And I gave a jar of sauce to our local pizza delivery driver to give to the owner. He loved the sauce. He rang me up and he said he wants to use the sauce on his food, on his hot wings and on his pizza, and he wants to sell it in his shop. So I went out and found the jars and bottles and made my proper labels and had my very first sauce, which was I think it was ghost chili with pineapple and mango. And once I got my first sauce in there, I was thinking I can do this. I can create my other sauces, make my labels up, and it sort of snowballed from there, and it hasn't stopped.
How many different types of sauce do you have at the moment? Not saying recipes, but you've probably got a whole back catalogue of recipes that you want to try at some point.
I sure do. Right now I've got 7. So usually I like to have about 4 or 5. 7's kind of pushing it to always have the whole range on hand. I'll always knock one out the range and bring in a new one. I've just bought in a tomato ketchup, which comes in mild and hot. So I've added 2 to the range just recently.
Which I will say I have tried and it's extremely delicious.
I love a nice stock standard tomato sauce, Meat pies, sausages, cheese on toast. I use it as a pizza base. Just use it as tomato in your dishes,
Is your products very seasonal based on the types of chilies you can get your hands on in Australia?
No, not really. I buy my chilies whenever I can get them. I'll buy them in bulk and I freeze them. So I've got several deep freezers full to the brim with chilies, lots and lots of habaneros, scorpions, reapers, got a bunch of cayennes and a whole lot of jalapenos. So I've always got chili. So I've also used some dried chili as well. So dried chili you can always get.
As in powder as well?
Yeah, chili powder, yep.
I guess how long ago did you make the leap from sort of, just creating for your family, friends, etc., and hitting the pizza shop to kind of where you are now? I know you're in a lot of the local markets and, as I said earlier, you're in a lot of the...
So it was in a space of about 2, maybe 2.5 years. I remember I was doing it part-time. I had the 1 or 2 sauces in Stone's Pizza. I was still working, just had a warehouse job. And then my daughter was born in September 2013. That's when we decided that I'd stop working, stay home and look after her full-time and start the business full-time. And that was the end of 2013. So it all pretty much started full-time from then.
Been running for a while, for a long time.
Yeah, mate, it's all me. It's a one-man show. I've gone out and gotten 20 stockists through Perth, all the way from Broome to Margaret River. I've got a website as well, and I do markets every weekend. I've probably done about a dozen different markets. I always do the Perth Frio Chili Festival, Araluen Chili Festival, and whatever else has got chili, I'll do it. Also do, gourmet food festivals, beer festivals, that kind of thing.
Do you find the sort of the underground subculture of chili lovers is really increasing here in Australia?
Totally. I knew that even before I started. I thought chili's getting big. I'm going to take this full time and I'm going to get into it.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, it's kind of, especially over the last few years, it's really kicked up a gear, whereas you would find the occasional chili festival or et cetera, but now it's kind of commonplace to see at least 1 or 2 chili producers in every market almost.
Yeah, it's like craft beer. It's taken off and people are loving it.
What do you like about sort of, I guess, that subculture of people, the all of the hot sauce creators getting together and, sharing ideas, etc. What do you love about that sort of subculture of chili lovers?
Oh, I really just love like we're all like one big family. We're all really close. Ever since I've joined the West Australian Chili Seed Exchange, all the local chili makers, whether they're professional or doing it from home, everyone's willing to share their knowledge. Everyone's really friendly and it's a great time.
Yeah, I think it's kind of those that are listening will understand if they immerse themselves in that sort of subculture a little bit. Will understand that everyone's in it for the same reason. It's for the love of the hot stuff, really. Mate, what's your favourite chili?
Orange habanero, always has been. Love it.
Mate, same as mine.
Hot without being crazy and super tasty. I love smoked habaneros as well. That's a really nice flavour.
Do you smoke your own habaneros?
I do smoke my own habaneros.
What sort of wood do you use? Is it hickory that you're using?
Yeah, I use hickory and mesquite.
Okay.
I'll go 2 days and I'll smoke a few kilos at a time. So I've always got it because I use it in my smoked habanero barbecue, which is a smoked southern style barbecue sauce. I also use it in my smoked habanero chili infused sea salt. And once in a while, I make my habanero mustard, but I use smoked habaneros for a smoked mustard.
I have been privileged enough to try the mustard, and I've got and the smoked habanero barbecue sauce, and I love all of it. So
a lot of sauces you use chipotle, which is smoked jalapeno, but I'll always go for the habanero.
I guess moving along a little bit, what have you seen some of the funny things that people have, they come along to your stall, they've started with a mustard, they've gone through the barbecue and thought, wow, that's pretty hot, and then they've got to your Ruby Reaper.
Yeah, I do samples every weekend at the markets. I've done it, for the past few years, every weekend. So I talk to a lot of people and I always warn everyone. I say I've got mild and medium down here, hot in the middle. I say the hot's about 7 out of 10, although everyone's different. Might be less hot for some people. I always say down here I've got the super hot sauce. A lot of people try it. A lot of people have tried it and they can handle it. A lot of people shouldn't have tried it. It's a great laugh. I've destroyed many people's taste buds on a weekend. It's probably the best thing about what I do is doing samples at markets and dealing with the general public, because not everyone that comes to the markets are chili lovers. People might think they like their type of heat, which is a lot different to my kind of heat.
I know from firsthand. I drag my wife along to a lot of the chili festivals. She's over the years has grown, accustomed to the point we have chili on everything. She was at your stall and she liked the idea behind Ruby, as in being your daughter's name, and she liked the idea of having the sauce. She tried it, and we had to make a quick retreat because she believed that she was about to start hallucinating. She was killing her that badly.
Yeah, it's crazy hot. I have increased the heat over the years, and I've made it hotter and hotter to what it is now.
What do you find? Do you find there's two types of people? People that like it, super hot without as much flavour, or do you find that there's types of people that just like it for the flavour? Most
people are into it for the flavour, and at my stall they're in luck because all my sauces have their own unique flavours. They're all really nice. Even the super hot sauces have a good flavour.
What's your best seller at the moment?
My best seller is probably the smoked habanero barbecue, which won the gold award at last year's Araluen Chili Festival. And this year it picked up bronze, and that was for tastiest chili product. And my mustard's also a massive seller.
Yeah, I guess, where do you go from here? Where do you take the sauces from here, from where you're currently sitting right now? What's the future goal?
The future goal? I'd like to just get a whole lot more stockists. I'd like to get into the international market.
Yeah, there's a massive market internationally at the moment, I think, for chili product. Well, I think for goods coming out of Australia, full stop.
Yeah.
There's you only have to see the news with the different types of scandals and things there are with food products overseas, especially in Asia, to know that they love purchasing fresh produce and things from Australia. I think there's there's a very high standard of goods.
Yeah, I sell bulk sauce to tourists every Sunday at my market in Perth City. Lots of Asians come along, a few Europeans, Americans are always really keen on it.
I know you've got the mustard out, you've got your hot sauces. Is there any plans of moving outside of that and doing something a little bit different?
You mean other chili products? Thought about maybe doing some pickling, doing some chili pickled cucumbers, that kind of thing. Took me ages to get going on my chili infused sea salts. So doing the sauce and the salt for now is a lot of work. Yeah, so I'll see how we go.
I guess, as a business owner and someone that's experienced in building a, hot sauce business, is there any advice that you would give someone that's looking to start up or, they have a recipe, their family and friends love it? Do you have any advice for, or, mistakes that you might have made that might help their process out if they want to possibly think about bringing out their own small batch hot sauce or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know about mistakes I've made, but I always tell people hit the markets, because the markets is where it's at. You can really get your name out there. There's a lot of markets. A lot of hot sauce people don't do markets. They don't do that kind of thing. They just have like a website or sell it through Facebook. But I reckon doing the markets is a great way to get it out there.
I guess markets will give you an instant response, instant feedback on what you're selling.
That's right, yeah.
You can understand, what people like, what they don't like, and, refine your stuff from there.
I meet so many good people every weekend doing markets. We have conversations about chili. Lots of returning customers from the markets. They tell all their friends about it. They tell their family.
Thank you very much for sharing, obviously, your passion being chilies and your experience with us. But how can people find out more about you and your hot sauces? Do you have, I know you've got an Instagram account, etc., but if you want to let everyone know how they can find out more about you.
Yeah, well, I have a website. It's drpaulshotsauce.com. You can order all the sauce online. I've got a Facebook page, Dr. Paul's Hot Sauce, Instagram as well, Dr. Paul's Hot Sauce. Through my social media pages, I advertise whatever markets I'm doing that weekend, so you can always find out where I'm at. I'm always open to a conversation and answer some questions.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.